Hello everyone, welcome to SouthTech tutorials. Today I'm back with another video taking you guys through classes and IDs in HTML. Classes and IDs are normally used for referring. In order to style your page, you have to write a name and then you call it in your style.css, or you can just use internal CSS and you call it from there. So both a class and an ID are references to the CSS. That means whenever we write them in our HTML page, we can call them in the CSS page, and we shall see how to do that. So for the ID, it specifies a unique identifier. Let me say you are trying to give a background color for the whole div. You can use the ID or you can use a class. So this is how you can represent them. If you want to deal with a class, you have to use a dot or a full stop, and then the ID is represented with a hash symbol. Let us see how to do that practically, and I'll use the VS Code. I'll go to my VS Code, and I have already created a folder on the desktop, and let me just open that folder. I created mine on the desktop called classes IDs, the first one. I select the folder. So this is just an empty folder that I have created. And now let me create my file as index.html. So I'll put some HTML code inside here. Let us give the title for today as classes and IDs. This is the title. I'll just save this. So inside our body section, let us put a div. Inside the div, let us create a nav. Inside our nav, we shall have a UL. We shall put a UL. So inside our UL, let us put list. And we're designing our navigation page, our navigation section. So let me just put some anchor tags, the one we have already looked at previously. Here I put index.html, and let me put home here. I'll just duplicate this. The focus here is not about creating the anchor tag. I want to use this in order to apply the effect of classes and IDs, and we shall see how to do that after I have created all of this nav and I've completed it. So this one is about us page. Then this one, let me just put support. Then this one will be contact us. Courses. I'll put courses there. So here we were talking about classes and IDs. So we shall start with a class, and let us give a class to our div. Let us give it a class of, you can give any any name that you feel like, as long as you will use it in your styling nav. So now this is the name of my class. The next thing I have to do now is to create internal CSS. I'm going to use internal CSS. That one will go below the title, and our internal CSS will be in a style. So in order for us to reference this class in our style, then we have to use dot style styling nav, because this is the name of our class. And previously in the summary, I have said the class is represented with a full stop or a dot. Yeah, that's why right now I'm using dot styling nav. This name you are seeing here is the very name that I have given my class here. So let me give a background color of brown. So here now I've given a background color to the whole division, because this div is the one that is having a class of styling nav. That means this effect of the background color will only apply to this div. And let us preview in our browser by opening it with a live server, so that we can see the changes. It's loading. So you can now see here we have given our div a background color of brown by using a class of styling nav. So this is the effect, and this is how you can use classes to style your work. Right now we have given, let me say I'm changing the color to blue. I refresh. You can see now it gives a background color of blue. That is our very first div. So let me just take it back to brown, and this is our first div. We have used class called styling nav. So now let me differentiate this, and I create another div. This time it will have some headings. This heading is going to be about SouthTech tutorials. This is our heading, and we can put a paragraph, and we can type something about SouthTech tutorials. The channel is about teaching. You can put a break. It's about teaching IT, such as ICDL, computer drive. We can put such as ICDL. This is the International Computer Driving License. Programming, such as SQL, HTML and CSS, put a break. We have looked at how to apply and what does a break do previously, so I will not again explain what BR means. Also at SouthTech tutorials, we teach people how to do software installations. So now this one is a different div, and we don't have any class that we have applied to it. Can preview, so you can now see the second div is talking about SouthTech tutorials, and now let us style it by using class. I think in the first example we have used the class. The second one, let us use an ID. You can say div ID. You can just give an ID of SouthTech. You can just give an ID of SouthTech, and we shall also come and we reference it up here in our styling. If you are dealing with an ID, you have to use a hash symbol, and then you write the name of the ID, which is SouthTech. You open your curly braces. Let me say we're styling this one by giving a background color of, let me just use this light blue. Save this and you preview it, so you can now see the main emphasis here, guys. I'm showing you how to use classes and IDs and how they are really referenced to our page. This method of styling is what we term as internal CSS. You can also use external CSS, whereby you will create an external CSS page and then you just call it in the main page by linking. So the concept still remains the same, and our focus for today is how to use a class and an ID in HTML. So IDs, as I gave a brief description, they are normally used for unique identification, while classes are also used for identification. But the IDs, this one they are normally unique, because there is a course that will come up on this channel probably in the next month, that is for the JavaScript. That's where IDs are normally used, because when you're dealing with JavaScript, there you really need to specify one by one. You don't need to call many IDs in one div. There they won't work. But with classes, you can have many classes dealing with one div, which is not the case with the IDs. The difference is really very minimal, but here for this tutorial we shall focus on how to use classes. I wouldn't also leave out IDs, because you also need to know how to use them. So you can use classes for referencing in the CSS, and that's the definition I really gave during the start of our video. Both a class and an ID are references to the CSS. Class is used to point to a class name in a style sheet. The same thing to an ID. It is also used to point to ID name in a style sheet. And these are the representations, and they are the dot and the hash symbol. So those are the ones we have really used here. When you want to call an ID, you have to use a hash symbol. If you are dealing with a class, it is a dot or a period. They also call it a period. So without this, you won't see the effect. It will even give you an error. Now let me just show you in the browser. So you can now see we don't have a background color of brown on the first div. Reason being, we haven't written the class properly. We have missed out the dot on the styling nav. But if we put it back and you refresh, you can see it there. So you can now see the effect of the class is back. It is also the same thing to an ID. If you don't put this hash symbol, save this and you preview, you will not be able to see the effect. You can now see we don't have a background color of blue. If you put it back, just do Ctrl Z and then I save. Yeah, you can be able to see it. So guys, this is a concept I wanted to show you, how to use classes as a reference in CSS, and we shall be using classes in our work. We shall be calling one div and then we use that as a reference in the CSS page. It won't matter whether we're using external CSS or internal, because classes are normally used inside the CSS styling. That's why. I hope this video has been helpful, and if you are new to this channel, I do recommend you to hit the like button and subscribe. You can also hit on the notifications bell for more updates. Thank you.